Sarawak records impressive 12 billion ringgit in revenue. Sarawak Premier confirms Tun TAIB'S imminent return. And on our world affairs, synagogue shooters sentenced to death. Salam Sarawak Maju Makmur. Those are the headlines for tonight. You're now with me, Lorenzo Isaac, and you're watching TVS Nightline. Sarawak's income for 2022 almost doubles compared to 2021 statistics. Sarawak generated about 12 billion ringgit, a significant increase from the 7.62 billion ringgit in 2021. Premier Sarawak Dato' Peninggi Tan Sri Abang Johari Tun Openg said the state's first quarter performance for this year has already reached 5 billion ringgit, indicating that this year's income is projected to surpass the previous years significantly.
Sukacita juga untuk saya mengingatkan bahawa ini juga telah terbukti apabila pada tahun 2022 pendapatan Sarawak meningkat kepada hampir 12 bilion ringgit berbanding 7.62 bilion pada tahun 2021.
Abang Johari reiterated that such an achievement is only possible due to the unity and tolerance that is practiced among the people, as it led to a politically stable government that attracts investors to the state.
Pada masa yang sama, hubungan baik kita dengan Kerajaan Persekutuan di bawah platform kerajaan perpaduan ini, kita telah menerima peruntukan berjumlah 5.6 bilion ringgit daripada pusat untuk tujuan pembangunan.
He spoke during the launching ceremony of the Independence Month and Fly the Jalur Gemilang 2023 Sarawak Division at the Kuching Police Headquarters IPK on Thursday.
Astana has issued an official statement regarding the health condition of the head of state, Tun Pehin Sri Abdul Taib Mahmud. The public is urged not to engage in speculation as Taib is currently recuperating at an international health institution. The Premier's office, in support of the statement, assures that based on doctors' advice, Taib's condition has been improving and upon the doctor's advice, will be able to return to Sarawak very soon. It added that Sarawakians and others who are waiting for Taib's return to be patient and not be easily swayed by unverified news and speculation on his current health. The Premier of Sarawak Dato' Peninggi Tan Sri Abang Johari Tun Openg officially confirms that Sarawak's Yang di-Pertua Negeri Tun Pehin Sri Abdul Taib Mahmud is currently resting and will be returning to Sarawak soon. Abang Johari further revealed that Tun Taib is currently in the process of recovery after falling ill while on vacation abroad.
Rasanya begini, dia dalam leave cuti dan dia jatuh sakit di luar negara dan keadaannya sekarang ialah sudah pulih, jadi dia masih rehat dan kita gunalah report, final report daripada pihak kita itu. Lepas tu dia balik.
Addressing the same matter, the State Governor's Private Secretary, Junis Saleh Ahmad, hopes that the public will exercise patience and not be swayed by uncertain news and speculations regarding Tun Taib's health. Previously, on Wednesday, Deputy Minister in the Sarawak Premier's Department, Law Malaysia Agreement 1963 and State Federal Relations, Dato' Sharifah Hasidah Said Aman Ghazali, also asserted that the current situation does not warrant the appointment of an acting head of state. She added that although Tun Taib is currently not in the country, he remains in constant communication with the Sarawak government and continues to fulfill his official duties. OCI Holdings, a South Korean conglomerate, plans to invest an additional 2.8 billion ringgit for the production of polysilicon, catering to the semiconductor industry. Deputy Premier of Sarawak, Dato' Amar Awang Tengah Ali Hassan, made this announcement during his visit to the company's headquarters in Seoul, South Korea, welcomes the investment as it aligns with the state's green energy initiatives. Awang Tengah, who is also the Minister for International Trade, Industry and Investment Mintret, said the move is also in line with Sarawak's post-COVID-19 development strategy PCTS 2030 of environmental sustainability and economic prosperity. The company has already invested over 8 billion ringgit for the production of polysilicon for solar industries. In addition to polysilicon, OCI has also partnered with Kumho Petrochemical Group in a joint venture to produce epichlorohydrin (ECH) through hydroelectric power with bioglycerin and natural salts. The whole project is valued at 1.7 billion ringgit. During the visit, Chief Operating Officer of Sarawak Energy Berhad, James Ng, handed over an assurance letter to President of OCIM Sendirian Berhad, Choi Sung Jil, for the phased allocation of power for the company's investment in Sarawak. The Ministry of Transport will conduct a feasibility study to assess the viability of establishing a railway system in Sarawak. Its Minister Anthony Loke emphasized the full support of the federal government for the Sarawak Transportation Master Plan, given that the state currently lacks a railway network. Loke mentioned that the plan is in its preliminary stage and discussions between the Ministry of Transport Sarawak and his ministry are ongoing. Loke also revealed that a similar study will be conducted for Sabah to enhance its rail network. He further emphasized that the ministry will continue to prioritize the timely completion of crucial transport infrastructures such as the Mass Rapid Transit Line 3 (MRT3) and the East Coast Rail Link, as these projects play a pivotal role in driving economic growth. Loke highlighted that a significant investment in urban rail transportation will not only create compact cities, but also boost economic productivity, connect communities, and improve the overall quality of life for Malaysians. Sarawak's hydroelectric plants aiming for 8 gigawatts of energy by 2030. Deputy Minister of Energy and Environment, Dr. Hazlan Abang Hipni, highlighted the significance of generating 8 gigawatts of energy through Sarawak's hydroelectric plants. This power generation will play a crucial role in supporting the future industrial sector and advancing Sarawak's hydrogen economy agenda. Dr. Hazlan revealed that the target can be achieved through the implementation of floating solar technology in the state's hydroelectric plants to increase power generation. Floating solar, also known as floating photovoltaic (FPV), involves installing solar panels on structures that float on the water's surface, commonly on lakes. Sarawak's Premier Dato' Peninggi Tan Sri Abang Johari Tun Openg emphasized that hydro energy remains the primary focus of the state's power sources and recommends exploring the construction of a hydropower dam on the Trusan River in Lawas. Sarawak Energy Berhad has been progressively developing hydroelectric plants, with Batang Air Dam operational since 1985. Bakun, 2,400 megawatt in 2011, and Murum, 944 megawatt in 2014. The Balai Hydroelectric Project, with a capacity of 1,285 megawatt, is currently under construction and expected to be completed by 2027. The total installed capacity of Sarawak Energy's major hydro plant is 3,452 megawatt. Around 40 pigeon carcasses were discovered along the Kuching waterfront, prompting the Kuching North City Commission (DBKU) to cordon off the area with barrier tape as a precautionary measure. DBKU released a statement on Thursday expressing their seriousness in investigating the incident. The Sarawak Forestry Corporation (SSC) collected samples from the dead pigeons to determine the cause of death. The discovery of the deceased pigeons on Gambier Street was reported by the public and widely shared on social media platforms. The DBKU took precautionary action by cordoning off an area along the Kuching waterfront using barrier tape after around 40 pigeon carcasses were discovered by the public on Wednesday, August 2nd. Two men arrested in connection with the murder of a 46-year-old man at an orchard in Jalan Tunku Abdul Rahman, Cebu. Cebu Police Chief ACP Zulkifli Suhaili stated that both suspects were arrested on the night of August 1st and are currently remanded until August 7 to assist in the investigation. The case is being investigated under Section 302 of the Penal Code for murder.
Dalam perkembangan kes tembak di Cebu baru-baru ini, pihak polis telah melakukan tangkapan ke atas dua suspek lelaki berusia 36 tahun dan 45 tahun bagi membantu siasatan. Kedua-dua suspek telah dibawa ke Mahkamah Cebu pagi Selasa untuk perintah reman. Bedah siasat terhadap si mati telah dijalankan di Hospital Cebu pada 2 Ogos 2023 bermula jam 2 petang dan selesai jam 7.30 malam. Punca kematian selepas dibedah siasat si mati ialah kecederaan parah akibat luka tembakan senjata api.
The victim, Pang Neng Hua, 46 years old, was shot dead at the entrance gate of his family's orchard at Batu Sembilan, Jalan Tuanku Abdul Rahman on Monday, July 31st. Coming up right after the break, growing concern over child sexual harassment. COVID-19, Malaysia most resilient among peers. Right here on TVS Nightline, stay tuned. Welcome back. The surge in sexual harassment cases involving children, with 35 reported incidents in the past year, has raised significant concerns. However, Federal Minister of Women, Family and Community Development, Datuk Sri Nancy Shukri, remains cautious about interpreting this number as it might not fully represent the true magnitude of the issue nationwide. Nancy emphasized that she believes numbers in unreported cases exist due to various factors.
Sesuatu yang baru. Oleh itu, kita perlu sentiasa menambah baik undang-undang semasa agar sesuai dengan peredaran masa. Kini, gangguan seksual bukan sahaja berlaku secara fizikal, tetapi juga atas talian atau online.
She told this to reporters during a press conference after launching the KPWKM at Advocacy Anti-Sexual Harassment roadshow in Selangor on Thursday. Nancy further added that sexual harassment among children can cause trauma and have long-term effects, especially if the perpetrators are close family members such as fathers or brothers. According to the Royal Malaysia Police PDRM statistics, 378 cases of sexual harassment involving adults were reported in 2020, increasing to 506 cases in 2021. Nancy mentioned that many victims do not come forward to report sexual harassment they have experienced to the authorities due to shame and fear. At the same time, the ministry is ready to assist victims through counseling and psychological services, but victims are also encouraged to file police reports. Miri has been bestowed with the prestigious honor of hosting the Asia Pacific Film Festival APFF in 2024. Minister of Tourism, Creative Industry and Performing Arts of Sarawak, Dr. Sri Abdul Karim Rahman Hamzah said it is a remarkable achievement for Miri but also a crucial step in promoting the film industry within the local community.
Next year, sometime middle, will be in Miri. We'll bring it to Miri. That is another festival that we're looking forward next time in the future. So this is one of the way that we are giving opportunity for our local people to do business in the film industry, because this is something new under the creative industry, and of course we want Sarawak to progress in tandem with our digital economy, and this is part of it. Part of the program or the project or what you call the festival that we are making arrangement.
Abdul Karim's text speech was read by the Deputy Minister of Tourism, Creative Industry and Performing Arts 2 for Creative Industry and Performing Arts, Datuk Snodan Lawan, at the launching ceremony of the ASEAN International Film Festival and Awards IFA 2023. Abdul Karim reiterated the importance of this festival for Sarawak's overall growth, particularly in tandem with the digital economy. Meanwhile, Deputy Minister of Tourism, Creative Industry and Performing Arts 1 for Tourism, Datuk Sebastian Ting Chu Yu, expressed his delight that his hometown, Miri, has been chosen as the venue for the APFF.
Delighted to hear that the announcement by our Minister Yang Berhormat Dr. Sri Abdul Karim on the wonderful news that Sarawak, particularly Miri, will be hosting Asia Pacific Film Festival 2024. This is another industry that we must look for Sarawak, and I'm indeed very pleased that it is Miri, because I myself from Miri, and I must thank Minister for selecting Miri, and of course the industry, the people who are responsible here. That location will be in Miri, from Macau to Miri,
M to M.
From M to M.
The selection of Miri as the host city for the APFF reflects Sarawak's growing prominence in the global film landscape and presents a valuable opportunity to showcase the region's rich cultural heritage. The anticipation builds as the festival promises to be a momentous celebration of creativity, artistry, and cinematic excellence.
A Memorandum of Understanding MOU signing ceremony took place between the Malindo Film Fund MFF and the Sarawak Film Collective SFC. The MOU solidifies the commitment of both industry players, marking a major step towards charting new territories and creating extraordinary cinematic experiences for filmmakers and enthusiasts alike.
The MOU was signed between Sarawak Film Collective Vice President Rashid Saleh and Malindo Film Fund Chief Executive Officer Dr. Max Shankar, and witnessed by Deputy Minister of Tourism, Creative Industry and Performing Arts 2, Creative Industry and Performing Arts Datuk Snodan Lawan, and Deputy Minister of Tourism, Creative Industry and Performing Arts 1, Tourism, Datuk Sebastian Ting Chu Yu. The Malindo Film Fund recognizes Sarawak as a landscape with huge potential for investment in new culture, leveraging their unique cultural assets and fostering high-value industries, as the Sarawak Film Collective aims to stimulate the economic, social, cultural, and creative development of local talents through this cooperation. This initiative is designed to revolutionize film financing and support talented filmmakers from Malaysia and Indonesia.
Malaysia has emerged as a country with notable resilience and potential for recovery amid the challenges brought about by the COVID-19 pandemic, a report by the World Bank found. Malaysia beats 5 other countries such as Indonesia, the Philippines and Vietnam in matters such as economic consequences and the government responses to the pandemic. The World Bank noted that the 6 countries experienced the crisis differently and implemented various measures to contain the spread of the virus and to mitigate economic impacts with varying degrees of success. Country manager for Malaysia, Yasuhiko Matsuda, said the COVID-19 shock reduced employment and household income, but the report showed that Malaysia did relatively well compared to the 5 on the macro level. Meanwhile, senior economist Ririan Salwa Purnamasari in her report highlighted that Malaysia's economy was stable and growing before the pandemic, with a 5% annual growth rate, and was the wealthiest among the 6, adding that the pandemic provided valuable lessons to build resilience and manage future crises. During pandemic, she said the government assistance package had a wide coverage and a diverse mix of instruments for firms and households, but it could have been better targeted and calibrated. She also noted that compared with other countries in the region, Malaysia relied more heavily on support to firms in the form of liquidity, credit and lending, and relatively low on direct support to households. Moving forward, she said better targeting and consolidation of support instruments is needed, in addition to active labor market programs such as rescaling and upscaling, which is more beneficial to the people in the long term. Now, moving on to international affairs. Niger will not back down to pressures to reinstate ousted President Mohamed Bazoum, despite sanctions imposed by the Economic Community of West African and the West African Economic and Monetary Union. Reigning Abdurrahman Chiani said these sanctions are inhumane and aims to humiliate Niger's defense forces while aggravating the already poor financial situation of the country.
Le Conseil national pour la sauvegarde de la patrie rejette en bloc ces sanctions et refuse de céder à toute menace et d'où qu'elles viennent. Nous refusons toute ingérence dans les affaires intérieures du Niger et rejetons la prétention chez les uns et les autres de punir pour l'exemple le Conseil national pour la sauvegarde de la patrie et le peuple nigérien. Nous en appelons donc au peuple nigérien dans son ensemble et son unité pour faire échec à tous ceux qui veulent infliger d'indicibles souffrances à nos laborieuses populations et déstabiliser notre pays.
On Sunday, July 30th, ECOWAS has imposed sanctions on Niger and said it could authorize the use of force if the coup leaders does not reinstate Bazoum as president within a week. It has also sent a delegation to Niger earlier today in order to find a diplomatic resolution before intervening. However, Tchani refused any interference in the internal affairs of Niger.
Ils devraient aller jusqu'au bout de leur logique destructrice, puisse Allah veiller sur le Niger et faire en sorte que c'est le dernier grand combat que nous allons mener ensemble pour une véritable indépendance de notre pays.
Robert Bowers, the man responsible for a deadly shooting at Pittsburgh Tree of Life Synagogue, was sentenced to a death penalty. The shooting saw the death of 11 Jews in 2018 and was considered the deadliest anti-Semitic attack in U.S. history. Following the death sentence, survivors of the attack and families of the deceased have found solace as justice has finally been served.
Finally, justice has been served. And even though nothing will bring my dad back, I feel like a weight has been lifted and I can breathe a sigh of relief.
And for the final verdict in this case, I feel relief. And the jury sat through months of horror and delivered justice to my mom and everyone that was killed and everyone injured and everyone beyond.
This trial is important in enforcing the law of the land. It is also important in sending a signal in the strongest possible terms that anti-Semitism and hate have no place in our hearts, no place in our communities, no place in our country, and will not be tolerated.
Back in June, 50 years old Bowers was found guilty on numerous federal hate crimes. 63 convictions were charged onto Bowers that includes 11 counts of obstruction of free exercise of religious beliefs that results in death.
The evidence in this trial proved that the defendant acted because of white supremacist, anti-Semitic, and bigoted views that unfortunately are not original or unique to him. Sadly, they are too common. Our Constitution protects a person's right to hold repugnant beliefs. But our Constitution also protects every person's right to practice his or her faith. And when people who espouse white supremacist, anti-Semitic, and bigoted views pick up weapons and use them to kill or to try to kill people because of their faith, our office and our partners in law enforcement will hold them accountable to the fullest extent of the law each and every time.
The verdict marks the first time since U.S. President Joe Biden was elected as president, where federal prosecutors have successfully sought and won the death penalty.
See the world closer with TVS as we bring you the latest news updates both locally and internationally. For more headlines, anytime, anywhere, just head on to our official website at tvstv.my or follow us on our social media platforms. And that's all for TVS Nightline. I'm Lorenzo Isaac. Thank you for watching.